Alright, here I am at the East Huron Avenue Railroad crossing in Vassar, Michigan. Now this crossing right here is a rather neat one owned by the Huron and Eastern Railway short line, which to be exact, this subdivision right here I believe is the HESR Port Huron subdivision. Well, actually, after looking, this crossing right here is actually right in the middle of the Port Huron subdivision and also the Bad Axe subdivision. And the track that runs north and south through this crossing, I'm not exactly sure what subdivision it's called because I did some research, but I can't find any information on it. And also, since this track right here, once it runs up north, it actually cuts off right at Columbia Township. So it's kind of a mystery to me. So if you guys know, I may have a few buddies that may know, please comment below so I know for next time. So thank you. Which is a subdivision that divides off of the Saginaw subdivision once you hit Saginaw. And down there further north at this spot in Vassar is where it splits off into two tracks, and I believe like the right-hand track splits off into Bad Axe somewhere. I believe that's what it is. I might have to do more research, but other than that, though, I came here to check out this crossing here on East Huron Avenue because this crossing features some pretty rare equipment per se. And also another thing worth mentioning, that right there is actually the Huron Eastern Headquarters, which is actually an old depot building. You can see a couple of locomotives sitting right here too, GP38-2, or I think both of those are GP38-2, one of them in the Rail America scheme. Well, yeah, I guess with that said, I'll explain all the equipment as I go on over here. So I guess with all that said, let's get on to it. So for the first signal, this has a Harmon cantilever, and here's the emergency information, and the dot tag and the dot number is 511868L. And for the gate mechanism, to cut to the rare part, this has a Harmon gate mechanism. Yep, that's right. This right here is the, I guess, original Harmon gate mechanism that was installed here back in the 80s when this line was bought out by HESR. You can see that somebody wrote something on here. I guess that's the inspection number. But yeah, it has a Harmon gate mechanism sitting on a Harmon base, as you can see. And the gate features some NEG incandescent gate lights and a wind guard on the mast, as you can see. And for the lights on this one, and for the mast lights, this has two pairs of Harmon 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights, all sitting on a Harmon light bracket, as you can see. And for the overhead lights, this has two more pairs of Harmon 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights, all sitting on a Harmon light bracket. Pretty neat stuff to see the Harmon incandescent lights remain here. But yeah. And for a bell on this one, this has a Satran mechanical bell, as you can see, one with the Louisville, Kentucky logo on it. So yeah, that's a mechanical bell, and I can't shake it because obviously it's a cantilever, it's too big. You can see the Grain Valley, Missouri logo, or lettering on the gate mechanism. Really cool stuff. It's a very interesting gate mechanism because look at the gate arms, they're absolutely massive. Like, this is my hand for scale. So yeah, that right there is the first signal. Pretty neat stuff, I had to say. So let's go ahead and cross the road and tour the other signal. So yeah, let's go ahead and move over here. You can see this is obviously the headquarters because you can see Vassar and all the high railers around and stuff. So yeah, here is, so moving on to the next signal, which is similar to the first. So for this one, this has another Harmon cantilever. And here's the emergency information once again. Why can I say emergency information correctly? But yeah, and as you can see, the stop and red signal sign on this signal is kind of faded. And for the gate mechanism, this has another Harmon gate mechanism sitting on a Harmon base. As you can see, pretty neat stuff. And the gate features some Satran incandescent gate lights and a wind guard. Actually, it has one Satran incandescent gate light and two NEG incandescent gate lights. Kind of neat to see. I wasn't expecting to see a Satran gate light here. And for the mast lights, this has two more pairs of Harmon 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights, all sitting on another Harmon light bracket per se. And if you look up here, you can see another Huron and Eastern dot tag, which is like the license plate style. For a moment, I thought it was a old Grand Trunk Western dot tag, but I kind of figured it was too shiny to be one, be an old Grand Trunk Western one. But yeah, and for the overhead lights, this has two more pairs of Harmon 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights, all sitting on a Harmon light bracket. Now, I figured that these lights would also have the Satran visors on them, but I believe these are actually the factory Harmon visors. But yeah, and for the bell on this one, this has another Satran mechanical bell. As you can see, I'm not totally sure what the bell cycle on this is. Most likely rings all the way through. But yeah, I guess with that said, this was the Huron Avenue crossing here in Vassar, Michigan. I don't know why it took me so long to, get the city name out. But yeah, this is the East Huron Avenue crossing. Here's the relay case, as you can see, with the little Satran inspection box attached to it. I believe that's an inspection box. But yeah, so I guess with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the track view. This is a wide 4-track crossing because Huron and Eastern often puts stuff to storage here. So yeah, down there is heading south towards a gate. As you can see, the gate is currently closed, so I guess no unsolicited trains go through here. And you can see there's cars in storage, and eventually this heads further south towards more crossings. Like, they're all mostly crossbutt crossings though, and there's like a street name down there that I can't pronounce, so I'm not gonna bother listing names, I'll be honest. You can see there's an old spur track right here, which is very overgrown. Like, there's literal trees on it. And once again, here are the 2 locomotives that sit right by the headquarters. Pretty neat. But yeah, and down there is heading north towards where this line splits off into 2 tracks. You can kind of see where it ends up at, and it splits off to the left and right. You can see some hoppers in storage, and there's also a few more crossings down there as well. And you can see there's another track right here that turns into this facility. And right here is the old, I think this is a grain elevator, although I'm not sure if this is used anymore. But it's still pretty neat to see just for the extra scenery. But yeah, let me go ahead and walk all the way back over here. So I guess with all of that said and out of the way, this was the East Huron Avenue railroad crossing in Vassar, Michigan, right by the Huron and Eastern headquarters, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I have to say, pretty rare and pretty neat stuff. I absolutely love how this crossing is in almost all Harmon setup. Well, minus the, like I said, minus the bells and gate lights, because I'm not sure if Harmon made either of those. But yeah, I guess with all that's said for now, over and out.